So I went to Palm Springs, met him, had loads of conversations, brought back loads more stuff, found the guy who made them's Diaries. So suddenly I'm like, no, the thing is, I can't talk about someone who's not here or that I've never met. I think it's very disrespectful saying, well, I've never met Marilyn Monroe. I never met Bill, the guy who designed everything. So why would I make any judgment on someone I've never met? That was awful. But when I went under his bed, I can't believe what I found. All the costumes from Dallas, Knots Landing, Dynasty, Betty Davis, Judy Garland, and it was all going on. I had it all in suitcase. An whole another story, losing a suitcase on a plane, on an airport. That's another one. Brought back the Oscar, lost the Oscar on a 747. It ended up being in the cockpit
Andrew,
with the pilot.
You need to write a biography.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hilarious, but at the time it wasn't. I was hysterical. Like, how can he lose an Oscar at 30,000 feet? I managed it. And then, so what I did is I managed, finding his diaries was an absolute gift because it meant it's his words, not mine. So suddenly I could talk from the perspective of him. So I talked around the dresses. There were loads of funny stories. It was quite jovial and funny. I didn't answer any questions about her. I didn't care, really, because she's not around. This wasn't about her. She might have worn them, but this was about him. I wanted to make him the household name. And then this woman came up to me on the third week or something and said, I really enjoyed that. I was like, oh, thanks. It's really, really kind of you. I totally made it all up. And she went, no, you didn't. She said, I happen to be a booker or whatever they call them from Carlton. So Carlton's one of the biggest publishing houses in the world. And said, do you want to write a book? And I said, absolutely not. Are you mad? And then we had a meeting a few weeks later, and she actually said, I want you to write it the way you spoke it. Yeah. Because it was a completely different way of doing it. You weren't going, Marilyn died in X. She was size X. That's been written 1,000 times. You did it from a perspective of how this man created a brunette into a blonde. And that's exactly what he did. So obviously the book came out, international bestseller, went into like 14 different languages, I think. I mean, of course, I'm not even putting my name attached to that. The reason it was an international bestseller because her face was on the front. Everyone would buy it just for that reason. But I did thoroughly enjoy it, and it took me away from that aesthetic beauty thing for a short period of time. But in actual fact, did it though? Because
no, you're still sort of there, weren't you?
One of the most beautiful women in the world.
Yes.
I learned how she turned herself from a brunette into a blonde, how the makeup was made by Max Factor by hand in a pestle mortar to create the foundation and the lip cut, all that.
Wow.
I learned how the lighting happened back in the day to light you perfectly, how they used lanolin to give her that glow that she had. So it was almost like the hairdressing, the studying stuff, the modelling, the book, all of it came into one mishmash of stuff that I guess allows me to do better at my job now. Because I still pick from those things. Yeah. I still mention going to, Max Factor and seeing all this stuff and how it worked back then.
Is that all in the book as well? Oh, and the book's still available now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Fabulous.
Yes, I think it is.